We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hello and welcome to See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson. The show today is brought to you by Fit in Seconds. Fit in Seconds is the first pre-meal workout that you can do anytime, any day, anywhere. It's going to help you lose 1 to 3 ounces of fat before each meal. So you go to fitinseconds.com, you order your package, and the package gets delivered directly to your phone, tablet, or computer, and you immediately are on your way to losing weight. So today, we're bringing it to you with Fit in Seconds, but we have a very reality-based show today. I mean, the reality of losing our identity online is something that is a moment-to-moment basis, and reality television is something that consumes the rest of our day. Either we're trying to be on one, or we are on one, or we're seeking out the people that are. And my two guests today know a lot about reality. Larry Castro, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And Dianne Burnett.
Hi, Michael.
Hi,
Great
how
to
are
be
you?
here.
Good to see you again. Well, we're going to start with Larry. Larry, you have a unbelievable career to me, because I am a fitness enthusiast and a former athlete, and I do train a lot of people, and your passion is based in fitness and in helping others. Why don't you give the audience a little overview on what you do?
I think the biggest joy, and I think you and I discussed this, is when you look in somebody's eyes and they don't think they can do it, but you inspire them to do it and they achieve results, is the most rewarding thing I've ever received.
That warmth that you get it's
incredible.
I mean, I feel in it because I've done it before,
Right.
and I've had that experience, and in working with kids, you're enlightening and sharing something at a stage where you know you're building a foundation that's going to last forever. And
Absolutely.
It's really invaluable. And I had a couple guys that remind me of you as I was growing up. It was a decathlete that I still, every time I have a hard workout, he pops into my head. And so you're making an imprint that lasts forever. And that's and you were talking about flag football this last weekend?
Flag football, my son, he's the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a joy to watch these kids go from not knowing how to play to being able to play and compete.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's, in your lifetime, you're going to be around somebody that's going to impact you, that's going to say that one thing that triggers something,
Mm-hmm.
that makes you do the things you didn't think you could do. And for me, that's a blessing. And it excites me to be around kids, athletes. I've had the privilege to work with some of the best athletes in the world. And I've developed some programs that are very unique, outside the box.
Well, and when it comes to golf, because golf is something that you're very passionate about, in 1988, you actually started golf training camps and training systems.
You were listening to me.
I was listening to you. Go into that a little, because it's really, it's pre-Tiger Woods. Because we look at Tiger Woods as sort of a game changer in the pop culture of golf, but you were creating, I'm not going to tell, you'll tell better than I am.
Well, no, in 1988, actually, I was involved in the Olympics, beach volleyball, and I was becoming a golf professional, and I realized that golf professionals are golf period, you're athletes, right? You have to be able to control your body, your balance, everything else. And I developed a program in 1988 called Golf Gyms of America, the first one ever. And
people laughed at you.
Oh, they said, you know, what do you want to do exercise for Q-tips? You know what a Q-tip is? Old people with gray hair driving around the... And
I've seen him.
I've seen him. And it just started to evolve, and I really believed in the dream. And I remember having a business plan called Golf Gyms of America. In 1995, a Chinese man came over to me and said, I want to take your business plan, and I want to build it in Hong Kong. I said, really? Okay. So I went over to Hong Kong, and I built this. And I remember after I built it, tears came down my eyes, because it became a vision to reality, right? And most people can't do that. So it was very exciting. And the whole thing just evolved. And when Tiger came in, it really did push the sport way, way ahead. And I've watched Tiger. I've worked with Tiger.
You've actually got to work directly with Tiger.
Yes.
That's cool.
He's an interesting man, but he works very hard. So
do you think he'll ever come back? I mean, his injuries that he has, I mean, he's got the back now, right? That's
you know, I think he has the mental attitude. I know that a lot of things that have gone on in his life have challenged him. He has the drive, but he's had several injuries. I think if I'm going to give you my true opinion, and I've said this over the past four years, I think he needs to go back to Butch Harmon. Go back to the basics. Go back to who he knows, who brought him to the game, who he won a lot of championships with, where it becomes, he can say, I'm just going to erase everything. Let's get back to it, Butch. take 6 months out and let's win another championship.
You know, it kind of reminds me of Rocky III.
Exactly.
Where he lost that self-belief in as much as he tried to push through. He needed to start back with Apollo Creed and start back from. I mean, I hate to use that, but that is a scenario that kind of it's a metaphor for
Jack Nicklaus did it too when he was 39 years old. He couldn't putt. He couldn't chip. He was just horrendous. He went back to his, at the time was Flick. He went back to him and he started, said to him, I want to go back to the basics. Took 6 months off, started working on his game from stance, grip, everything. And came back, and as you know, he won several tournaments, including the Masters, which I remember to this day was an unbelievable tournament that he won. So it was really watching him.
And to think about the Masters this year, McIlroy won, and didn't Tiger drop out during the Masters this year? Isn't that what happened?
No, Tiger was close, but the last day he ended up not playing.
That's what it was.
Well.
He
Exactly.
just he didn't back out, but he decided no more injury.
Correct.
It's too bad. But this new kid is fantastic.
McIlroy, he is a beast.
Yeah.
This guy works out very hard. All of them are now training very hard, and it's fun to be considered a pioneer in the golf fitness industry. And one of the things that now I'm outside the box again. I created a thing called golf muscle activation, and golf muscle activation deals with proprioception, spatial awareness. When you play golf, you're swinging the club. You think you're doing something, but you're not really doing it, right? If you look on a video, you say, okay, I thought I was in this position, but you're not there. So we have a way to train people to get them in positions to be able to fire in sequence, right? So we're building strength, we're building endurance, and also shaping their swing. And I've done...
This is a neuromuscular repatterning.
Bingo.
Yeah, and that's so important.
Oh, I love the way you talk.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's got to be that way.
Yeah.
And now with the video technology that we have and the ability to slow down to thousandths of a second to see what's going on, there's that one point that someone will have, and you can correct that, where in the past, there's no way to slow it down. There wasn't. Even 5-10 years ago, things were not the same as they are right now.
But that leads me into fluid strength, and it leads me into
fluidstrength.com.
But that leads me into, well, you've got to do it. You've got to do it in a fluid motion. It's all got to be in sequence. But what happens is, and it's got to be proper form, right? Function and form. And what you see is, for example, if you watch somebody doing a cable and they're trying to improve their golf swing, a lot of times they're just doing this, right? And they think they're improving their golf swing. But if they're not doing the proper form, they're not doing the proper motion, and in fluidity, they're not going to get the results they're looking for. So what we do compound, balanced movements, physical. You know
I know.
what I'm
I follow you. Yeah.
So
but the audience, they'll benefit from it. So say as much of it as you can.
But no, it's unique. It's a way to train that it is more dynamic, and the results have been phenomenal. I actually took a guy one session, because I have had a little studio, brought him in. I did the whole workup, right? The whole exercise routine, did all the movements from balance to everything to get him in position. He didn't know what I was working on, right? And at this point, this guy, all he did was slice. Got him into all these positions, got him to do the movements, and as soon as he got done, I said, okay, here's the balls. I want you to go ahead and hit in the driving range. He started hitting the draw. He goes, wow, how did I do that? You didn't know it, but I was putting you in those positions to be able to hit the ball properly.
You gave him an alignment.
Bingo. Bingo.
Basically, yeah.
So it was pretty exciting.
And now fluidstrength.com is something that isn't just about your actual physical strength. It's about mental strength. It's about clarity. And it's about building yourself as a full person, not just about your sport, correct?
Well, and it's funny because we're here with everyone that all has a part of that. Nutrition from the
Mulberry love.
from the mulberry juice. It's about a comprehensive lifestyle, right? And it's living. I like to say it's extreme living, meaning living to the best you can, from the best performance in your body to the best nutrition to the best quality of food you eat, everything.
Plus outlook.
Outlook,
and
absolutely.
And that's one of the things that psychologically you seem to address that as well, and that's the most important component. If someone has a poor self-esteem walking in or out of a practice or training, that is going to bear on them in what the results are.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
We need to work together.
I think we're gonna. I mean, there's some. I'm gonna learn a lot from you, and I don't want to step over it because StealthGrid.com is one of the main reasons why
I'm excited about that. Yes.
And StealthGrid, from a layman's perspective, looking at the site, having what's called digital splitting, where you're able to make it so there's no footprint, there's no print of any kind of your activity on the web. How does that work? And explain how you're saving people from losing their data. So
you're asking for the secret sauce?
Not how to do it, but what the secret sauce provides. Yeah.
basically what happens is we're connected 24/7, right? All the time, from our wearable devices to our phone. We are being monitored, and people don't realize it all the time. It's well, we are, and it's and, you know, and basically what's
I hope someone's listening.
It's under the convenience of they're gathering data, because I worked for a company that we gathered data,
right.
and I understand what they're trying to do, and so they can push advertisement, or they can laser target specific advertisements. No, they're going to monitor what you're going to do, and they can also use it against you. For example, what we do is we simply take our application. When you download it, it's agnostic. It works on iOS, Android, PCs. You download the application, and when it leaves to the cloud, right? This our first application. Let's say you have Amazon, Dropbox, Google Drive. It'll take a third of that data, send it to Google Drive, but it's encrypted. So it's end-to-end encrypted, split encrypted. So if somebody goes to Google Drive, they only get a third of that piece that's encrypted. The other third goes to Dropbox, and that's encrypted. The other piece goes to, what did I say? Google Drive,
Google
right?
Drive.
So now they have to know where all those pieces are, and they have to have your app in order to open it up on your device. So it only becomes whole when it comes back on your device. So we can split it up to 1,000 different pieces.
Oh my God!
We can do it with videos. We can do it with music. So we're doing the same thing: split key tokenization. We're doing it with POS systems. We have a wallet coming out, but we basically are going to. Our goal, Stealth Grid, was primarily developed so that you could live stealth within the grid.
So you don't have to be off the grid and be the person that is unable to really be part of what's going on in the cultural world that changes from day to day, and now you can do it, and you're not going to be sacrificing your own.
Can I steal that from you?
Yes, you can.
Oh my God!
Anything I say, you have.
My leg.
Because I've probably taken it from someone else.
I'm feeling it come up my leg. No,
excellent.
No, it's really important. People don't realize when you lose your data and identity theft. For example, we've worked a deal out with Identity Guard. They're going to add our application to Identity Guard. They have 36 million users. That's a big deal for us. So we're pretty excited about it.
So you don't have to be a company, an organization, anything large in order to use this application. It can be me.
Here's what I looked at. I looked at either the enterprise model, or I call it the IBM or the Apple model. IBM went after enterprise. Apple went after the consumer. I want adoption. I want users. I want this to go out to the public so that we can take back our rights to privacy back, right? Our constitutional right to privacy. It's not that I'm hiding anything. It's that I want to determine when, where, and how you see what I have.
Right. Well,
right?
Why did, just because it's now able to be seen by other people, should it be able to be seen by other people? That's there's a wise man told me once, if you don't want it to be said, don't say it. If you don't want it to be read, don't write it. If you don't want it to be heard, don't say it again. And it's impossible in this world not to leave an imprint.
Absolutely.
And when you are a young kid coming out of college and are going into college, even, you start signing up for everything. And they probably look for those people the most because they're so eager to give their information. They want to establish credit. They want to establish a life. They want to. So you give them all of your information. And by the time you're 23, you can have all that stolen, and you got to start from zero again.
And even though they say they're going to protect you, it still takes a long time to get it off. You have to get letters. You have to get documentation. It's a real hassle, and especially if all of a sudden you decide you want to buy a home or a car, you can't buy it. You can't do it.
No.
So we've got a very exciting company. We've gotten a lot of traction. Cybersecurity, as I told you, cyber criminals are making about $500 million a year just off of site. Over $1 trillion in intellectual property stolen.
And that's got to be quantifying each year too.
Absolutely, it's only going to get
there's
bigger.
more users that are getting involved online.
You're going to love this. There's actually affiliate programs where you can buy malware, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's ransom malware. You can buy it from a black, the black sites. You can get the malware, and these guys are making $91,000 a month. I'm putting ransom. So what happens is the malware then goes off into your computer, your device. You can't get anything. They come and say, you pay us X amount of dollars, and we'll go ahead and decrypt it for you, and you can get access to your computer.
Wow. And the people that buy those from the black market, are the people in the black market getting cut into their sales as well, or is it like they purchase this almost like a fake ATM machine that you're going to keep putting? People will put their credit cards in until someone finds out that this is a fake one, not a real one.
And they also actually have a website where you can actually buy credit cards.
Wow.
So you can go online, buy stolen credit cards, and you buy it for $25 a credit card. You go out and start using it, and they use Bitcoins, so you can't track where the money's going. And it's a scary, scary place. So we're providing a solution to consumers at a very low price.
Now let me ask you this, because the movie studios like Sony, of course, that had this incredible hacking issue in Korea.
We would have prevented that, by the way.
I was going to say, how did you approach them afterwards and say, look, we have a solution for you. When you calm down and you all quit your jobs and fire the rest of the people, we can help you prevent this in the future?
You know, we're a pretty new company, right? So we're actually in the stage of, we're in a Series A raise right now. So we're raising some funds to launch all of our products. But they are starting to hear about it. So we're starting to get the traction and attention to people. I actually met with somebody that has invited me to go play golf with Netanyahu in September. And part of that is because they want me to go over and talk to some of the tech companies about our technology. So it's pretty exciting. So, you know, for example, with the White House, the OPM, the Office of Personnel Management, every federal employee has been hacked. Every federal employee has been hacked. So what they're going to do is they're either going to store them, they're going to steal. I mean, it's scary right now, and there's nothing out there. IoT, you know what IoT is?
No.
Oh, I'm going to teach you something.
I like it.
Internet of Things. It's a term that they use because now we have smart homes. Everything's connected. I could go through your light bulb to get Wi-Fi access to listen to what you're doing. I can tap into your TV, watch you. You wouldn't even know I'm watching on your TV. I can listen to you from the washer, the dryer. This is the real deal. So we're developing products to jam all that stuff, including stopping Google from taking pictures of my home. So that's kind of the vision that we have. So we want to be able to protect your privacy so that if you want to lay in your backyard naked, you can lay in your backyard naked with somebody taking a picture of you.
You know me well.
I have. I've seen your photos.
I tried to encrypt them, but possibly, and now I found someone who can save me from my naked pee-pee photos.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh, boy.
But this is something that, you know, does it have to keep evolving from where you're at now, or will people figure out?
Because they're evolving.
Yeah.
The cyber criminals are getting smarter. Think about it. It's the easiest crime you can do.
Yeah.
I don't have to walk into a bank with a gun, with a mask on. You don't know what. So I explain it this way.
There's no adrenal gland issue with that. When you're
exactly.
not shaking with a gun. No, you just.
When I came here, I took the freeway. I came from San Diego. Took the freeway, got on Sepulveda, right? Drove up to your door, walked in your door, walked up to your office. You saw me. But the internet is like the highway, which takes you to their homes, goes through your door. You don't know they're there.
And so you get a smart TV, you got trouble.
You got trouble. Unless you have something that protects it. There's not one cybersecurity company out there providing a solution for that until StealthGrid came along. Not one.
Will StealthGrid have a USB type of
We'll be hardware and software, so we'll be doing both. So we'd like to lay on the top of things, plug and play, because it's a little less for our COG. And anybody out there, COG means cost of goods. So it's something that we'd like to take. We want to make it easy, simple, and our device is extremely simple. A 5-year-old or an 85-year-old can use it. Doesn't matter. If you've never used it before, it's just plug and play and go.
Now, if someone does try to make an attempt at getting your information, is there a red flag that is sent to us?
There's actually a notification, but they won't be able to get it. They can't get in.
Really?
We even split it on your computer.
But will you be aware of it? So it's almost like if someone tries to break your window, you'll know that someone has tried to break in the window. So you'll know they went towards the Google Drive area, or because I'm sure there are some that are easier to access for hackers than others.
But here, you just explained something that's very powerful for us. They go to Google Drive, all they're getting is a piece that's encrypted. But you know what encrypted is, right? It means all the Jubilee numbers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
that
it's
goes
like we shredded our pieces of paper, and they've won, and they took a handful of shredded paper out.
Where's the other piece?
Exactly.
You don't know unless you're on my computer and you know which, because it's any platform, right? So I can, whatever cloud platform you want to go to. So, for example, who was the girl that got her nude photos taken?
Oh, Jessica.
It's a lot of people.
No, Jennifer. What's her name from you know who?
Recently?
Yeah, she won an Oscar.
This was back in I think November or December.
Yeah, Jennifer. You know who she is? Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Thank you.
Had she had our application on her device, those pictures that were stored would never have been seen or stolen.
And they said 100 or so different people that have those, and their pictures they're taken now. You can't reverse that.
So all they would have gotten when they went to the cloud platform was one piece that's all encrypted. They can't decrypt it, meaning put it back whole until it comes back to your device. So they would have only gotten one. They would have had to then find the other pieces and put all the pieces together and try to figure out how to decrypt it. Right. Not going to happen.
Let me ask you a question. So you're saying this is all off your laptop, but what about like being on Facebook, where I heard everybody can take everything off Facebook? How do you protect yourself from from that.
Because you can actually incorporate the application in Facebook as well.
You
too.
can.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And
good.
now,
That's good to know.
can Facebook
Okay.
do that as the company themselves to protect the people, or do we have to do it as individuals?
Well, you would have to do it as individuals unless we get a contract to Facebook. Hi, Facebook. How you doing? This is Larry. Call me now. No,
Yeah, Larry has a solution to a lot of these headaches you might be getting emails about.
Yeah,
But they said that they have rights to what you have on your wall. Remember that whole
they
thing
don't
that
want
they
it
were
stolen.
sending out
But they
mass-
have rights. But okay, they have rights to what? The split pieces? Great. Now put it back together, Facebook.
Oh,
Right.
I wonder if they would take you off if you did something like that.
There may be, might be a point in time where we'll be approached and they'll say, hey, look, Larry, we don't like your application because we can't get information. And then that's when I say take a flying hike. It's
Right.
our right and our privilege to protect our information and our privacy. This means a lot to me. I mean, this to not just as a company, but to me, because I know my children are being exposed every day.
'Cause that's where people get into trouble on Twitter,
And Larry has
Facebook,
6 children,
Instagram.
so
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
could you imagine having? And
a lot.
every one of them have identities and personal traits. So
Absolutely.
they don't want to lose their identity, especially the youngest.
No, no.
he's already lost it.
No, it's a scary thing, and I'm not trying to scare people into going out and looking for our application, but they need to take a look at what's really going on.
You need to know what you're doing.
Absolutely,
because people, they go into things. I think the smart TV is the biggest problem for everybody. They're all buying one now because they want that convenience, but as soon as they click off on all those things you have to say that you have to sign off on this when you're setting up the television itself, you're automatically allowing them to monitor you. And you have to go through those steps and allow them to monitor you to get the TV to do what you want it even to do.
Bingo.
So,
and Samsung got caught, what was it, I think about 4 months ago? They had some software there, they were able to listen to your conversations. But I bet you it wasn't the full truth. They were able to watch you as well.
well, have you heard about this new technology? You might know of this, that you can take a video and they can look at the resonation of the objects in the room from the sound waves that were spoken and recreate the conversation from the movements of the plant that's in there. So
NSA does that.
yeah, so you don't need to have an audio file anymore. This is a different level, of course. They wouldn't be doing this on, now they can spy right through the camera, and they've got there's speaker systems built right into the televisions, but this is going on. And how do you stop that?
Well, those are the things that we're building right now. And what I'm saying is you need to be aware and proactive, right?
Right.
So it's just like, in fitness, you need to be aware and proactive, right? What is your body telling you? I have a pain here, I'm maybe lacking some nutrition. What's my body telling me? And then be proactive to making sure.
And it's always giving us the messages we need.
It does, and people don't realize it. When I'm training people, and I hate to go off into that subject real quick, but when I train people, I say, listen to your body, right? I can't tell you what's going on in your body, but tell me what's going on in your body, and we can develop a program around what's going on in your body, right? So that's how we're going to be successful.
And I bet you found, and not to tangent even more, but you found that they have maybe not been eating right, sleeping right, doing
Absolutely
things right, because there's a 4-hour window that you'll have someone that's great, and by the end of that 4 hours, they're falling apart.
That's right.
Excuse me, their blood sugar's gone down, their focus is not the same.
Well, when you're training, you look in their eyes, right?
Yeah.
When I'm training and I'm pushing somebody, I look in their eyes. They don't need to tell me. I know what's going on when I look in their eyes.
Don't you hate when you see that fear? You're like, come on, you have nothing to be afraid of.
Perspiring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's one other thing I wanted to bring up before we run out of time is brandedbroadcasting.com, which is a company you've also been a big part of starting. And this is a content company that allows us, someone like myself,
it's a platform. Right. It's a platform that primarily allows you because of the cloud, right? So now you don't have to be a big network to be a network. So based on the way that they've got the OVPs and you've got the CDN that you can deliver high quality, for example, this is obviously a show right now that you're producing via the internet. We provide that platform and the tools for you to create your own network. So if you have all these, for example, you have your juice right here, right? So if I call it the resort thinking. So I built the athletic club at La Costa Resort and Spa. And one of the things that I realized is that when you build a resort, you want to make sure that you have everything there so nobody ever leaves your resort. Right? I don't want them to go off-site to have a massage. I don't want them to go off-site to go play golf. Or
you want
whatever.
on-site solutions.
Solutions, right?
Yep.
So the same thing with your product or your brand. So why doesn't she have her product, her own network, providing information, providing daily shows, daily workouts,
lifestyle content,
and you're able to then sell, right, to your own advertisers, right? You control everything, and by the way, Netflix has proven it.
Netflix has changed the entire. They changed Amazon even. I mean, that's the thing.
Right. But now you can do it yourself.
We're getting there already. Oh, okay. That went fast. Now we want to get a hold of you, so we're going to make sure that we go to stealthgrid.com. If you want to protect your identity, your friends, your family, this is the easiest and fastest way. It's affordable as well, isn't it?
It's affordable, yes. It's only we're charging $4.95 a month, and it basically protects one device. Multiple devices is going to be, I think we determined it's going to be about $7.95, so you can have up to 3 devices, but you're protected, and you don't have to worry about it.
It's really important. You want to be protected. I mean, insurance is the biggest thing that we probably make expense on every month, and this is an insurance policy that is so far cheaper than anything else, and it protects everything that you have. You can also go to brandedbroadcasting.com if you'd wanted to start your own content platforming site, and fluidstrength.com is a lifestyle and fitness based site that really will help you in all areas, from emotional to physical to nutritional to equipment that you might need to utilize to get better strength. And thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate
great
it.
time,
If you'd mind sticking around and talking to us with Dianne, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be right back with Dianne Burnett, but right now we're listening to Fleek. This is Giovanni Otero singing Fleek. We'll be right back here and See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson.
Can't complain about nothing you doing right now. I just saw the one I'm waiting for, and she's on fleek when she came through that door. Oh yeah, so I told her all this for you. Yeah.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Women now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever.
Harvard Medical School has now opened its doors to new female applicants.
The first woman is now in space.
The majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
NOMA, the National Organization of Minority Architects Youth Summer Camp, consists of field trips to iconic architectural complexes. Join us for 3 days of hands-on building design learning experiences. To register, go to SoCalNOMA.org. That's SoCalNOMA.org. Loyola Marymount University's Executive MBA, a premier 20-month program designed for accomplished professionals. Saturday-only classes. Sign up today and earn your accredited degree by May 2017. Visit us at emba.lmu.edu.
Do you or does someone you know have sickle cell disease? Have you heard about the EPIC study? It's an international research study evaluating an investigational drug aimed at shortening the duration of painful crisis. And with over 50 sites in the U.S., there may be a site near you. To learn more and to find out if the EPIC study is right for you, visit www.theepicstudy.com.
Disability Awareness Expert, empowering for the rights of people with disabilities. Disability Awareness Experts creates awareness through consultation for ADA legislation and federal compliance, fair housing practices, and educating businesses on how to hire individuals with disabilities. Our mission is to empower the lives of people with disabilities and enhance their employment opportunities. For more information, visit www.daexperts.net. That's www.daexperts.net. Or call 202-549-4793. That's 202-549-4793. The Disability Awareness Experts, proud sponsors of Veterans Day Live and the LA Talk Live Broadcast Network.
I lost 4.5 inches on my waist. I went down 2 loops on my belt. I've lost 10 pounds.
Hi, I'm Michael Carson, America's fitness coach, here to teach you how to burn body fat with every meal in only seconds a day. Fit in Seconds is a video workout program designed to accelerate your metabolism, resulting in burning fat with every meal. My Fit in Seconds video workouts will train your metabolism to use food as fuel, not as storage.
With Fit in Seconds, I lost 27 pounds and 5 inches off my waistline.
It's time to get fit in seconds.
lying on the hood of my car.
Okay, we are back. It's we're back. I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we know that this is Time Machine from Mark Otero. Let's just listen to this a little bit. This is a song we didn't get to hear the first time he was on the show. It's a good one. Now, you don't see Axel and Gail on camera, but they're here in the studio, and they're kids. I'm so impressed with your kids and their talent and their abilities and their futures that are ahead, and I'm so glad that you were on the show before the supernova, so I get to see that. All right, well, we're back here, and we're here to talk to Dianne Burnett. And Dianne, I have a thank you to you. A lot of you don't know me as an ultra-endurance athlete. You know me as a fitness guy, but when I was starting in fitness and working at Kathy Smith's Health Club, Mesoplex, back in the 90s, Dianne would take my class, and you were just a bundle of constant energy. You would take 2 or 3 classes in a row, and I would be teaching them, and you came to me one day, and I thought it was your husband, but it was you that thought that I would be good for this 300-mile team endurance race called the Raid Gaulois that we ended up training for. And I have to thank you for getting me involved in what I was looking for, which was something that set me apart from the rest of the fitness crowd.
Right, well, because adventure racing, you know, is more than just the fitness level.
It didn't exist then either.
Self-exploration of your body, your soul, everything.
Yeah, and thanks to you, it gave me international traveling. I mean, it was free financially, but it took its toll on me physically to be able to do that. We got to go. We went to the Middle East.
We roughed it.
We did rough it. And for a full year, I trained with your husband and the several guys, and you helped us to raise the money. It was like $45,000 we had to raise to actually enter this race.
Oh yeah,
or something
that was
like
just like the registration fee.
Exactly. And
not even the travel or the
no.
expenses.
We trained for horseback riding and rock climbing and canyoneering and mountain biking, and you were the person that set it all up. So I thank you. We've known each other a long time.
We do. Oh my gosh.
I know, isn't that scary?
Way back to 1990.
Yeah.
I think.
But that race turned into a race that more people might have heard of called the Eco Challenge. And the Eco Challenge, I was a participant in the inaugural Eco Challenge, but you were one of the people that made that happen. And without you, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, I'm glad someone recognizes that.
Well, I do. I do.
That's very nice.
Yeah, but what was it?
Well, it takes a team. It takes more than just one person. And, you know, we obviously had some great people, Lisa Hennessy and Amanda Harrell, Trisha, Brian Turkelson. So it was a good team. And, you know, Mark led it with his, you know, Indiana Jones hat and
That's
did
right.
his countdown, and obviously was, you know, the brainchild to making it more of an Americanized version of the Raid Gaulois.
Yeah, and the Raid Gaulois was the European and international, initially an international version, and the Eco Challenge was to be the American version, but then we went all over the world with that as well, didn't we?
Major extreme race. I don't think people understand how difficult it is, because you have the sleep deprivation on top of the wet, soggy shoes with blisters all over your feet, and you've got to navigate in the dark.
And the team dynamics of it. You're with people that they're not your family, but they're your friends. But when you're hungry and you're lost and you're stranded and you're exhausted, they become more of like an obstacle.
That's what makes this race so unique. It's not just start and finish in one day. You have to travel day and night, and
as
like you said, the dynamic.
It's a metaphor for life, this race, because
Yes.
there are obstacles that you cannot overcome by yourself all the time. There are certain things you have to be responsible for yourself, but it takes a village. And this race, I don't know if anyone's ever been a fan of Monty Python, but they have these little skits in there where all the people kind of move together, like, and they all move in like little crowds. That's how we had to get through that race together. You couldn't just be this wonderful, complete athlete and win this race. You had to do it with your teammates. And so that was the thing, is that you had to really depend on other people.
It's amazing. And the support system of some of the footage that we capture, like Helen, she was 73 years old, and, you know,
woman.
The Japanese team carrying the woman over, what was that, in British Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just amazing, the triumphs of people that stand together. And then, of course, there are the teams that didn't, which fell at the wayside, and then...
And I've been a part of a team that fell apart. I've been there, and...
I think I'm the one that found Owen on the beach.
Well,
and I said, aren't you supposed to be with your team right now?
well, and Owen was on the beach. A helicopter landed next to Owen, and it did not wake him up. But then someone went like this on his shoulder and tapped him and went, oh.
Yeah.
It was a very phony.
That was
I'm
me.
sorry, Owen.
That was me.
Owen, I'm sorry.
We like
That
Owen.
was you, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah,
me.
had
And
that
Christy
footage.
and I
And Turkelson was there too, I think.
I brought him to Turkelson.
That's right.
And that's when everybody ripped him to shreds.
Well, this was like 6 days into our race, and
they almost finished.
He shows up into the camp fully shaved and clean, and I looked like I was pulled out of a calf birthing.
And you were in the kayak with Mark, right? The two of you were
Mark
together.
and I have to say, as much as we probably used every swear word in the book at each other, because we were the only team that didn't capsize in that storm, and we ended up we crashed ashore, and these Bedouins and their children dragged our kayaks up to the beach and fed us, and it was very interesting culturally too, because you didn't see one woman. You saw a couple hands every once in a while come through a door. It was all men, and they had saved us, and there was such pride. And I even have photographs of Mark and I and these guys, and Mark and I looked like couple of rats.
It's an amazing country if no one knows where we were. It was
Oman.
the Sultanate of Oman.
Yeah,
which
it's the
is
southeastern tip of the Arabian Peninsula, and it's
beautiful place.
And and next week we have a guest who is in town. He's moved here from Abu Dhabi and has been in all of those countries, and he's going to be sharing some of the travel experiences from his perspective. And it's great to know it from ours, but to see it from that side as well. So that's next week. But moving in the future. You know, after these races went on, you've been doing a lot. You've been producing TV shows. You've been writing books.
I have my second book written, but I'm waiting for the last chapter to talk about how successful Mulberry Love is going to be, and have a hopefully.
Well, let's talk about Mulberry Love.
And a partner coming on soon, because I think I'm getting to the part where this isn't happening like Mrs. Fields, where I'm just baking cookies and now I have a gazillion.
Well, there's a
$1 million
secret
company. But
Mrs. Fields Cookies is the reason they did well is because it was this is healthy for you, so you have to give a little more push because people go, oh, it's healthy.
Yeah, and I'm educating people on what Mulberry is.
Tell us.
I'm at, shows and expos and fundraisers with the drink all the time, and people come up to me, wow, I grew up with a mulberry tree in my backyard. I was eating mulberries as a kid, and my mom always told me how healthy it was, but you don't really see it. You see dried mulberries at Whole Foods. And then Dr. Oz was speaking about mulberries. So now people are becoming a little more aware. So when they come over, they don't know what it is, but then they're like, oh, I heard of mulberry.
And what it's called is Mulberry Love.
Mulberry Love. So, yeah, I just had the inspiration to put something out there that was new, innovative, cutting edge. It is harder because you have to educate people, but I did a lot of research on the health benefits of mulberries. And besides it being really great for immune system, you're in fitness. This has so many amino acids, so it is like an energy drink. You could drink it while you're working out. It stabilizes your blood sugar. It's great for weight management. So this is perfect.
And
for
there's organic
clients.
coconut water in most of the flavors you have.
I do the coconut water for a couple of reasons. One, it's very hydrating. Two, it cuts either the mulberry could be very sweet or tart, so I think it balances out the flavor, and it makes it extra delicious. But it also acts as a delivery system for the nutrients to absorb into the cells, because if we're hydrated with the coconut water, you could better absorb nutrients.
And if you do spinning classes, or you take hot yoga, or you do any of those types of classes where you're just sweating profusely and you weigh yourself and you weigh less and you think that's great, part of the important thing is to replenish yourself. And if you don't replenish yourself with a drink that is not natural, the stimulants in it will also leach more of the fluids from your body. So having
right.
Larry.
Yeah, and this is very delicious.
Yeah, you're on your second one.
So we have the mulberry with coconut water. Michael, you were just drinking the mulberry and green tea, which has so many antioxidants.
And I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't like green tea, and I like this a lot.
What is from Turkey. So that's a green tea, not from China. It's from Turkey.
There's no bite to it.
Got my mulberries. I decided to go to Izmir after doing research of where an abundant amount of mulberries grew. So I flew to Izmir and I met with the farmers, so I know everything is the way.
Where is Izmir?
Izmir is south of Istanbul. I don't know. I flew there on a little plane. I got out. And I was driven by. I work with Elite Naturals. They're my co-packer in Turkey, and he's my mulberry supplier, and he brought me to the fields where it was just a huge windstorm. So I was walking through the fields. I was in ankle deep of mulberries, and my feet were purple for I think 2 weeks. And that's one of the things when you pick mulberries from the tree, your fingers stain from the dense. I use the black mulberry. So
So
darker the
you look
hue
like a
of the
Smurf.
mulberry, the
Family of
richer
Smurfs.
the nutrients. Yeah, well, they have white mulberries. There's red, and then there's dark purple.
And how did you choose mulberry out of all? Was it because of the berries when you were growing up? And
No, I just did. I worked with some healers that were into holistic healing, and the Chinese have been using mulberries for centuries for healing properties. It's great for your cardiovascular system. It's great for your vision. It helps with the anthocyanins and polyphenols. It helps reduce inflammation in the body. It helps reduce cholesterol.
Yeah.
So many health
sure
benefits
you're
of the superfruit.
getting rid of the alkaline. People are drinking more alkaline water, but they're not really doing it on a daily basis. They'll drink it every once in a while. You'll see it. And I think that this helps you as well to make it so your body's not very acidic. It helps to alkaline your system a lot.
That's true.
And the
Good
reduction
point.
the reduction of inflammation is huge.
And another thing, the green tea has a lot less sugar. The mulberry with the coconut water is a little bit high in sugar, and I know a lot of people are concerned with that because they're all into losing weight and sugar's not good for you. Well, I have a wake-up call for everybody. Our body needs sugar.
Our brain.
It's for our neurological system.
Yep.
You cannot starve your body from sugar. Yeah, well, we don't want high fructose corn syrup, and we don't want white cane sugar, but any sugar that's coming from a fruit is necessity. I mean, God put fruit and vegetables on this earth because he knew what we needed for our bodies to survive.
Well, and
so we do need fruit.
And we'll reach for a cup of coffee or a cup of tea that's caffeinated to give us a jolt to feel more alive. And this is actually better for you because when you're properly hydrated and your brain has the proper amount of glucose to use, 25% of our resting energy is used in our brain. And if you're not drinking and replenishing, and you have those days where you just can't think straight, and you're not working as hard in your brain, it's because of having not the nutrients that you need in your system.
Exactly.
And water definitely hydrates and replenishes, but it doesn't give us the electrolyte balance that we need. So this is a great thing to reach for, and it's not a large bottle, which sometimes these bottles, they give you these huge drinks, and you drink way too much. So even though you say the sugar content, which is all natural, is high, the size of the bottle is not to the point where you're drinking a big gulp.
This is a perfect size to just do a grab and go at the gym, when you're on a walk, a hike.
And explain this
What's
one,
this
yeah.
packet there?
Oh, this is my newest line. I thought, well, I wanted to be in glass. I just don't believe in... cans and plastic, is fine, but I think glass, it's just, it appeals to my customer. Mulberries are expensive. This is a higher end product. But I figured if kids wanted to drink it, they can't really carry glass around. So if parents wanted to buy this for children for their lunchbox.
Great idea.
Yeah. So I did the juice pouch for kids, and I'm yet to sell it. I just started it, so I do have. I think
it's
all
good
organic.
it's good for purses too.
Well, kids,
it's good for backpacks.
Big kids love this too.
Yeah.
So I have a mulberry with strawberry, mulberry banana, and mulberry peach, and they're delicious. So
Which
all
one
of you
is
have
that?
to try some. That's the mulberry with strawberry.
I'm taking that.
And again, only 3 ingredients, just fruit that has apple juice based
Here's
in
the
all
apple
of
juice.
them. That one's the peach. You could try that. And all the products, the green tea, it's only 2 ingredients: green tea and mulberry juice. This mulberry juice and coconut
And you
water.
said it's not as sweet.
No
but
additives, no natural
it's
flavorings.
absolutely sweet enough because I am.
That is sweet enough, and that only has 7 grams, and that tastes sweeter than that. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, there's more mulberry in that one.
Now you are an extensive world traveler, and when you're traveling the world, do you bring this with you? Do you take pictures in Tibet? Do you take pictures in South America with?
I put it on top of a mountain and take back. Yes, I do a lot of social
'Cause I wanna
media.
see
I'm
more
trying
of
to
that.
I'm trying to get this brand out there. It's really difficult. But if you start strong in Southern California, the rest of the country wants to follow suit.
And you're on Amazon.com with it as well, right?
Yes. So I sell it in stores all over Southern California. I'm in Colorado, Texas, Hawaii, Vegas, and Whole Foods, Sprouts, Ralph's, Safeway.
We should get you into like an Equinox chain or
that's what we need to do.
The Peter Barton chain. Yeah, because I find that those chains that they make smoothies and they make things, but they're missing the overhead where they could have someone grab this drink as well as the smoothie, so they have one on the fly afterwards, or the spinning instructors giving them the knowledge that if you drink, and honestly, this is the best replenisher right before you get in the shower after you worked out hard, so you don't deplete your body further. Just a quick drink, and it's very easy to do.
Well, you're getting so many nutrients. So some people are like, they miss a meal, or they don't have time after working out. They have to shower and get to work. Having the Mulberry Love drink, it just satisfies all of those nutritional needs if you have to skip a meal.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and I want to talk more about this and your book. But we're listening to Mariah Moore, Haunted. She was on the show last week. She sang the in-studio version, but this is the produced version, which is it's very haunting, actually. Let's listen to this. We'll see you in a few minutes. We're here at See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson. We'll be right back with more Dianne Burnett.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Women now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever.
Harvard Medical School has now opened its doors to new female applicants.
The first woman is now in space.
The majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
NOMA, National Organization of Minority Architects Youth Summer Camp, consists of field trips to iconic architectural complexes. Join us for 3 days of hands-on building design learning experiences. To register, go to SoCalNOMA.org. That's SoCalNOMA.org. Loyola Marymount University's Executive MBA, a premier 20-month program designed for accomplished professionals. Saturday-only classes. Sign up today and earn your accredited degree by May 2017. Visit us at emba.lmu.edu.
Do you or does someone you know have sickle cell disease? Have you heard about the EPIC study? It's an international research study evaluating an investigational drug aimed at shortening the duration of painful crisis. And with over 50 sites in the U.S., there may be a site near you. To learn more and to find out if the EPIC study is right for you, visit www.theepicstudy.com.
You tell all the boys no.
Welcome back to See It Clearly. I'm your host, Michael Carson, and we're listening to a cover by Ariel and Adam Perry. They came in the show on the 5th of May, and let's just listen to this for a few seconds. They're just quite a stunning couple, and I hope they come back, and they have a new EP that's coming out at the end of summer, but they're very good. Let's just listen to it.
So long, you couldn't stop if you tried it. You built your wall so high that no one could climb it, but I'm gonna try.
Would you let me see beneath your beautiful? Would you let
We are back. We are here with Dianne Burnett with 2 N's and left-handed. Look at that.
Left-handed, and I wrote something in your book.
And in my book, in the book that I want to share you.
When I handed it to you, that
I was like, my God, I've known you for 25 years. I got a book with no. This is The Road to Reality, Voted Off the Island. This is a book that was written by Dianne about 3 years ago now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about 3 years ago, and it was quite a splash when it first came out. And let's talk a little bit about the book. Just a little bit.
It's in hibernation. I was a little bit nervous because Mark didn't like that, but that's okay. Actually, he's fine now because he read it.
Oh, really? So just being told by other people is when
My
he got
son
mad.
James had to read it to say, "Dad, I think Mom's gonna throw you under the bus." She actually makes you sound better than you are, so he's actually fine with it now. But
and this is available on Amazon.com as well, if you need it.
Yes.
That's good. And you can get the Mulberry Love product on Amazon.com or on mulberrylove.com.
Or the stores.
Or the stores, yeah. If you go out of your home, or if you do go out of your
Yes.
home, if you're not agoraphobic and you have a car or a way to carry things, you can go to Bristol Farms, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and was one other one that I'm missing? Pavilions?
Pavilions.
Which is
Wow.
Vaughn's Pavilions in Los Angeles. But getting back to you and your life, you have, when I met you, you didn't have kids. And I have men.
Yes.
They are, give us a little background
so
on who's
quickly.
graduated and where they graduated from.
Wow. So, yeah, James is 21 years old, and he just graduated from the Berklee School of Music. So 4 years of, he lived in cold weather in Boston, and unbelievable tough school to graduate from. I know several people that said my son or daughter was there for a year and had to leave because it was too intense. But James graduated with flying colors. He now has his own publishing company.
Oh, wow.
So he does perform, and he has his own group, but he has artists from school and from Southern California, because there's so many talented kids here. And they write and perform music for film and TV themes. And he was just on Mark's show AD.
Oh,
He
really?
did the theme song, A Dangerous Man.
That's fantastic.
So it helps when your dad's in the business, but the network has to like it too. So they're very talented kids.
Yes, there's always that final sign-off that doesn't get passed unless it's got
Right.
quality to it. So,
Yeah,
of course.
very talented. So he has Burnett Music Group, and then there's Cameron. So Cameron just graduated high school, and he's going into USC Film School, which was his first
fantastic.
choice. So we're really happy about that. So both kids will be in their family business in some capacity.
That's funny because I had applied to USC and to Boston College, so I would have been in the same two zones that your
Oh,
kids
yeah.
were in. Yeah, I don't know how how you handled the
I'm
cold
so
for 4
glad.
years.
Well, no, and I'm so glad because they're 3.5 years apart. So it would have been awful to get James back in LA and then Cameron leave. So I have them, two of them back in Southern California. So I'm happy about that.
That's very cool. Very cool. But you are now not having to be as much a mom day to day as you used to before, and you've created Mulberry Love, and you have other philanthropic ventures
Yes,
going
I'm
on.
involved in a lot of charities. I also have my own, which is in my mother's name, Joan Valentine Foundation for Natural Cures. Hence the reason why I did Mulberries, because I do believe in Western medicine to an extent, but then somewhere in there, you know, like Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. So we need to eat clean, eat healthy, exercise, mind, body, spirit. It's all about that and balance.
And if you want to find out more about those, you can go to DianneBurnett.com. You have information right on that site.
That, as well as Joan Valentine, a Foundation for Natural Cures. I have a website, Facebook page.
Say the website completely.
Joan Valentine, a Foundation for Natural Cures.
.com?
So that's the name of, that's the Facebook page, and then JoanValentineFoundation.org is the website. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yes.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure that people go to the right place. And your mom and my father, they both suffered before they left. They had cancer. And I think that doing what you're doing in hopes of helping people avoid this in the future is really important. I know you're from a very close family, and you grew up in New Jersey.
New York.
New York?
Long
I thought
Island, actually.
I thought you were in New Jersey for some reason. I don't know why.
Not a Jersey girl.
No, Long Island. But you were
Long Island
you were a
girl.
dancer and performer and
Yes,
an actor.
I did
and,
acting to myself.
And you're in LA and you're not doing it?
Oh, if my mother, she's listening, she's probably patting you on the back right now, because she always said, how come you're not doing your acting?
Well, I always thought you were when I first met you.
Well,
you were,
I did. The last time, what did I do? 8 years ago, I produced and directed with friends from my acting class Beyond Therapy by Christopher Durang, and we performed 3 weeks at the Santa Monica Playhouse. And before that, I did like a little thing on Everyone Loves Raymond. I did little things.
I didn't know. Is there any of this on YouTube that if we were to go into YouTube that we could find Dianne Burnett?
Yeah, well, you could look under for the Everyone Loves Raymond piece. It's kind of funny.
Oh, that's excellent.
I'll show it to you.
How about the play? Did anyone record that and put it? Because I
No,
didn't
I'm
see
so
it.
upset
Oh.
that I didn't record it.
Someone must have. Someone has.
I have to
Had to
ask.
have an
I think
iPhone somewhere.
someone. No, I think someone did. It's just I lost touch with those people. But I can find it. I could find it if you really want to say it. Or
I do.
may just have
I
to
think
do
that
something else.
yeah, but no, I'd like to see something new as well. But it's always fun to see what you did.
I would
And
love
so,
to.
I went to visit you out in Malibu, and you're gonna leave Malibu. You're gonna come out here and get closer to society again.
I
or-
know. I posted that I was moving because my home was on. I guess Sotheby's does a special home of the week or so. My property,
your house was
stunning Malibu property, and so my realtor said, Dianne, you should really repost this on your Facebook page because you have so many followers. And oh my God, everybody was hitting me up like they thought I was leaving the country, leaving the state. I'm like, guys, I may just move closer into Malibu.
Well, and the house wasn't just a regular house before you moved in. It was.
Oh well, I'm the first owner. And but when it was being built or close to being built, they signed a contract with Warner Brothers for the OC to use that home. And that's so really funny that you mention it because I just had people come to my house.
I was on the phone with you.
Oh, and 2 days when I was yelling?
Yeah.
So I'm either really nice. If people buzz my gate and say, can I please, I just came from
It's a private
Sweden.
street. You can't even get in there.
Yeah, it's gated. But I get people so I've been there for 10 years that just will show up like on my driveway, knock on my door. I get mail for the actors that live there with kisses all over. But it's so funny because there's so many people that travel from out of this country from all over the world because they know that that's the OC house.
And a lot of those countries only have seen the OC in later years because they put it in syndication. So to them, it's almost brand new.
Right,
like
and
they're waiting for them to walk out.
Nice person put my address of where the OC house is, so I get visitors daily,
Can't
weekly.
encrypt that, can you?
No, I know. I think that's crazy that they posted the address because people are hopping my fence and to take pictures. So if I'm in a really good mood and they're very nice and polite, I let them take pictures. But otherwise, yeah, I think you were.
Yeah, I was
you
there.
Were when I
started the chainsaw. I was like, oh my God, it's going down on Malibu.
Well, because I just don't, I don't want to come outside and there's like 5, Europeans.
Don't they know that
standing
Caitlyn Jenner lives like a mile away? They could just go. This is so much more interesting. Jeez, for God's sake. Have you met Caitlyn?
I see her sometimes in the grocery store.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you reach that for me,
Vintage
Caitlyn?
Market.
Like, you're 6'7" in your heels. You could definitely reach that. Oh, I shouldn't say anything. It's I'm just it's just weirding me out that they keep changing everything to that the name. Like even the accident that Bruce, the former Caitlyn, had.
Malibu.
They said Caitlyn Jenner had the accident. I said no, that was Bruce standing there on the PCH. There was no dress on that guy.
Crazy.
I played golf with him.
Did you really? Oh my God! How did he play?
He was okay. It was fun to play with.
Did he? But he didn't start from the women's tee.
I just thought it was strange when he started putting lipstick on before the next shot. What are you doing, Bruce?
I'm getting ready for my drive. Now, can you imagine? He can't go to the women's tee now, can he? Because he's.
Well, remember that tennis? The real first person that changed to a woman was that tennis player.
Was it Tula?
And she ended up playing professional tennis.
Wow.
So
we're not talking about.
She didn't win.
She was a woman to start with.
She was strong though.
Yeah,
she was a good player.
Who are we talking about? I don't know her name.
What was her name? Renee Richards.
Oh yes, Renee Richards.
And it was a big thing. But she didn't really win anything. But she
won the hearts of America. And a couple of guys, I think. But anyway, we digress. But let's talk more about what you're up to. You went to a couple of things this last weekend. Actually, it was the weekend before with the dogs.
Oh, well, my biggest heart goes to children and animals. So whenever I could get involved, either I'm on the board of these charities or I'll donate my product. In some respect, that's my biggest thing. And of course, finding not a cure, just teaching people with food and exercise and self-care that you could eliminate yourself going to the doctor. Like, don't wait to get symptoms. The doctors only mask the symptoms with medication. Try to just,
They do the best they can, but
They do.
They're not.
Oh, yeah,
They're designed
absolutely.
to react to something that's going on, not to prevent it.
Right, it's an imbalance, and we have to figure out what that imbalance is. And we usually could fix it with the right diet.
And like you said, Eastern medicine is more about preventing a illness or a condition rather than treating it. And when you treat something, of course, and you probably have lots of people with injuries and things like that, just the treatments of some of the injections they need to get and some of the things they do instead of regular rehab breaks you down worse.
Absolutely.
But there's a timing for some of these professional athletes. And for us as people, we are very impatient sometimes, so we want to get to it as fast as we can.
Well, that's the big thing, because we could do all the right things. I do my infrared sauna, but stress in our life and not being at peace causes imbalances.
Now, talk about the infrared sauna, because you went over that fast, and not a lot of people know what that is.
Okay, well, it's different than a regular sauna. It heats you from your core, your inside, out as opposed to the external heat.
It's a microwave.
You from.
Yeah, it's a hot pocket.
Yeah. No, exactly. And, I try to go in 30 minutes a day. I don't always get to. But, I mean, you're just totally detoxing all heavy metals. And
Are you kidding? That's what I mean. We need 5 more minutes. Oh, we are at the end of the show already.
Running out of time, Michael.
I know. Oh, my God. Time is of the essence here. Well, I want to make sure people get a hold of you at DianneBurnett.com or MulberryLove.com. Or if you could tell me one more time about your mom's foundation.
JoanValentineFoundation.org. And that was her last name, Valentine. So hence I have hearts on my mulberry tree.
Oh, I see the connection. Excellent.
That's right.
And Larry, StealthGrid.com. We've got to find you there, and FluidStrength.com and BrandedBroadcasting.com, which I think that Ariel and Adam Perry, this is actually Ariel singing California, they should be getting onto Branded platform because they've been struggling. Yeah. They've been struggling, and on YouTube, you get swallowed up by all the other YouTube channels, and this is a way to differentiate yourself, and it's really great. I thank you both for being here today.
Thanks, Michael.
And next week, we're going to have Amir on the show, and one more guest that we're not quite sure of yet. He hasn't confirmed, so it's going to be a secret guest. It's either a magician or a comedian. One of the two. Hope he's not a magician. Anyway, my name is Michael Carson. You've been listening to See It Clearly. We'll see you next week, 1 p.m. Pacific, and thank you for listening.
Chasing dreams, but they're chasing me in the city of angels. I can't sleep 'cause I'm trading scars for that concrete star, and I can't find the sunshine in California.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.